Hey guys, welcome to our building and furniture technology session, part one. And today we'll be going through timber technology. And this is a part of the many series that I'll be going through with you guys. So stay tuned. And the general objectives of this session is to understand the characteristics, the uses, paths, and properties of timber products. So, timber and timber products have various characteristics. Characteristics meaning um, like values. If you explain something like let's say a bottle, you have to explain the characteristics. So the characteristics of a bottle would be it has a cover, it is made out of plastic, that kind of stuff. The uses of the bottle, you might use the bottle to put water in it, and this is just an example. The pads of the bottle would be the cover and the main pad and the label and so on, and the properties would be its texture, how it feels, the design of the bottle, how big it is, and so on. Okay, so we're going to be doing that for timber products. Also, we'll be developing the skills in selecting. So there are various types of timber products. We're going to be selecting, showing you how to select the best type of timber. We're going to be showing you how to treat the timber and how to store the timber and the timber products. And then the last thing we're going to do is develop a working knowledge of the preparation of the timber for production purposes. So if you're going to make furniture, for example, from timber, if you're going to make a roof, if you're going to make a door, you need to have a working knowledge of how you prepare that timber. Okay, so grab your notebooks or whatever you're taking notes of with, and let's go. All right, so off the top, students should be able to classify the different types of trees that the timber came from. You should also be able to identify parts of the cross section of a tree. So the cross section of a tree is, let's say you cut a tree, and this is from the cross section would be, let me show you back there. So this would be the cross section. You cut a tree, and this is what you'll see inside of the tree. Okay, so that's the cross section of the tree. So you also need to explain the methods of processing timber. Processing timber means how you cut it, how you take off the back of the timber, which is the outside, um, how you season timber, meaning how you dry the timber, and identify different types of defects. So timber have various types of defects such as bending and warping and bowing. So no board is exactly straight. So you have different things happening to the board over time. And you have moisture, so you need to dry out the board before you use it. You also need to explain the methods of timber preservation. So in order to have your furniture lasting for a long time, you need to preserve your timber so that it lasts for a very long time and it doesn't get rotten. Okay, so you need to do all of that. Okay, all right. So first thing we're going to go through is classification of trees, and a tree has various different types. So we have a cold right now. A tree have various types of paths, and you have various types of trees. And the first type of tree I have is a hardwood tree, and this wood is from broadleaf trees. Okay, um, you can Google and the different types of hardwoods, and hardwoods basically is the word itself. It's a harder wood compared to a softwood. Okay, so it's just much harder than a softwood. Okay, the trees are usually broad and wider than softwood trees. And from here, hardwood is from dicot angiosperm trees, and as you can see, these are broader trees right here. So the crown of the tree is very wide. Okay, and these trees you can have mango trees, and right here they show some mangoes. The mango tree, as you know, is very wide, so you can have various trees as hardwood trees once they are wide. The term also may be used for trees which the wood is derived. These are usually broad-leaved, so the leaf itself is usually broad and not narrow. And in temperate or boreal latitudes, temperate meaning heated but not too cold. So let's say for example the Caribbean, it's a very temperate place, and it's very nice for hardwood trees, for broadleaf trees. Okay, um, most of the temperate conditions are perfect for deciduous trees, but in the tropics and subtropics, mostly they are mostly evergreen. Okay, hardwoods are not necessarily harder than softwoods. Okay, so not all hardwoods are harder than softwoods. It's just the characteristics of the tree. Okay. Alright, so this is an example of mahogany. This is one of the hardwoods, and it is a dark reddish brown wood that is used to make furniture. So if you see a wood that is similar to this color, um, you know that it might be mahogany and a hardwood. Teak is a bit lighter, and teak is the wood of a tall tree with a very hard, light colored wood, and this is mostly found in Southeast Asia. Okay, um, you usually make doors from teak because it gives a very nice looking finish. Okay, so you'll probably see doors made of this color, mostly plain like bedroom doors that don't have like frames. You'll see them made out of teak. Oak wood, it is even lighter. It is a moderate brown that is lighter, stronger, and slightly yellower than auburn, and it's slightly redder than chestnut. So chestnut is a more browner, other than red, and yellower and lightly stronger than toast brown. Okay, so it's stronger than it's very light, but it is very strong than the browner woods. Okay. Birch is a very light wood also, has a fine grain. So let's go back. So compared to this one, you see there's a couple grains there. This has a lot of grains, and you can see the difference between the oak wood and the teak, and you can see the difference between the oak wood and the birch. Okay, so the oak wood is a little bit in between in terms of color. Okay, it is also frequently used, the birch, as a veneer due to its beautiful grain and its color. Okay, so let's go on to softwoods. Softwoods are woods made from a conifer such as pine, cedar, or redwood, and it is distinguished from that of broadleaf trees, which we said were hardwoods. Okay, so the broadleaf trees are hardwoods. Okay, um, softwood is from gymnosperm trees, and these are more narrower trees, as you can see, and it is a source of about 80% of the world's production of timber. And softwoods are not necessarily softer than hardwoods, but they are just called softwoods to differentiate between the two. The woods of, well, most of them are softer. The woods of longleaf pine, um, Douglas fir, and yew are much harder in the mechanical sense than hardwoods. So You have different softwoods that are actually harder than the hardwoods, but they are classified as softwoods. Okay. All right. So the difference between the two, what is the difference? So the softwood, if you look at the tree, it's very narrow and Christmas tree-like. If you look at the hardwood tree, you see it's very broad. Okay, so that's the difference between the two. Okay, between the hardwood and the softwood. All right, these are examples of hardwoods. Cedar wood comes from different trees, grows in different parts of the world, and they have very different uses. Okay, pine wood is used for construction projects, and the 2x4s, 2x6s, they are all made out of pine, and they're used for a lot of stuff. So you can use it in construction or furniture, cabinetry, window frames, paneling, floors, almost anything you can use pine for. So pine is a very, very resourceful material and can be used for many things. Okay. You also have redwood, and this is used mostly for specific things that you are building. So you won't use that for everything, such as the pine. For the pine, you can use it for any kind of construction. For this, it will be more specific. Okay.